Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's nice to see you, or hopefully it's nice for you to see me. It's nice to be back with our In Conversation with series here at Blackout Workshop. I'm Quincy Armorer. I'm the artistic director. And very excited to be back with another edition of our In Conversation with. It's been a couple of weeks now, 4 weeks actually, since the last one. We didn't have one 2 weeks ago since it coincided with the PACT conference that we were participating in. But it's nice to be back. Today is the 10th of September, and we are now at roughly 6 months of being home, lockdown, quarantine, however we want to refer to it. I think many of us didn't believe that 6 months later, this is where we would be, but alas, here we are, and trying to make the best of the situation that we are all in. So everyone at Blackout Workshop, we're thinking about all of our fans, our patrons, and our audience, hoping that you and your loved ones are all doing well, and as much as possible thriving in this new world that we are living in. But for today, super excited to be back to have a little bit of a chat. And we've invited a wonderful artist to be here. I'm really excited to tell you about her. And her name is Maryline Chery. So some of you may be familiar with her, those of you who are in the inner circle of Blackout Workshop. Maryline is a fantastic actor, performer, working in both languages, in English and in French, a graduate from Concordia University, and an alumnus of our artist mentorship program. She was in the program in the 2018 and 19 season. And I wanted to talk to her today, first of all, just to find out how she is and coping with this reality we're in, but also because she has written a play that is a part of the Centaur Theater's upcoming Portico project, which is a new thing that Ida Holmes at the Centaur Theater initiated to have some outdoor performance and finding ways for us to have live theater in this pandemic time where so many of us have had to cancel or postpone productions. So it's really exciting for us to start to have a little bit more live performance here in Montreal. And I wanted to talk to Maryline to find out about her show and to see if she can let us all know about it and hopefully encourage you all to go and check it out. So without any further ado, I introduce to you my guest for today, the lovely Maryline Chery.
Hi.
Hello, Maryline. How are you, my dear?
Oh, I'm good. I'm great. Like, COVID aside, I'm fine. I'm okay. What about you?
I'm doing okay. I think, to be perfectly honest, it's hills and valleys, as I've been saying. There's good days and bad days, good weeks and bad weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more than anything else, it's just the fatigue. It's just being tired. It's been a lot of work for us and the team. We haven't stopped. Our team has just been working from home, trying to get ready. So there's a little bit of exhaustion going around, but we're managing well through it. How about you? I mean, I'll just launch in the conversation there with you. Living the life of an independent artist. And, for the past 6 months, our industry has taken a huge hit and there hasn't been a lot of work or opportunity for independent artists. So have you been managing to fare well over the spring, summer, and now into the fall?
Yeah. Okay. So when everything started in March, for me, the whole pandemic, COVID-19, quarantine, I just took it as a really bad long distance relationship. So it's just like, okay, this relationship is toxic, it's demanding, and I don't know how to deal with it. It's taxing emotionally, physically, mentally. So, you need to take a step back. You need to seek what this relationship is bringing to you that's positive and that's negative. For me, I just decided the first few weeks to just take a step back, breathe, and just come to the realization that, okay, all the opportunities, the jobs, the gigs, everything's gone. It's not coming back.
Right.
So from that point on, what do you do? And usually I just create stuff. So I just started to put everything on paper, started to write, started to just question myself also as an artist. about my plays, because with everything that happened, like socially, it just, with the Black Lives Matter, the Me Too, the denunciation, like even here in Quebec, like you start to ask yourself questions about yourself as an artist. Am I just an actor, performer, or can I use my tools and my voice and my practice to, implement social change and help people educate? So that's what I started to think about. And that helped me to just create the show that I'm going to do at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. But I have to say that I'm still, I think, very lucky, because I was still able to work somehow during the pandemic, be it like on personal projects or like professional things. So it was still good for me. It was more so mentally, emotionally taxing, and I had to really take a step back and just make amends with all the projects that were gone before, and just stop thinking about it, because there's nothing that we can do. And just realize also that now, what is live performance? What is it? Like, can we actually go back to packing, theaters with people or not? It's just like trying to find other solutions, ways around it, and just be open-minded to it, to what's coming, because we don't know.
Exactly. I think there's still a lot of discovery left to be had in terms of what our industry and live performance is going to become. We can't, it can't be what it used to be, because the world that we're living in literally is not what it used to be. And so I think there's still a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty on what the full impact of this is going to be on our industry. And it's I don't know about you, I'd love to hear this, because I think I'm trying to find ways of focusing on the positive, to try to look at the opportunities for what we can do creatively, as opposed to looking, because I think in the beginning it was so easy to look at the limitations that it's going to have on our industry. And so I'm hoping that we're going to start to see new ways of working, new types of projects that are going to be emerging from there. But do you think that for you, Maryline, has it, like you talked about, taking that step back and slowing down, because I think that was something that I was really aware of, especially in the beginning, where our industry is always like, go, 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 the show must go on. If if you're not going fast enough, you miss that opportunity. And I think a lot of us kind of needed to be forced to just stop, slow down, and take a breath. And so where did that fit for you? Because you've got this new project, so it seems like you've still been keeping pretty busy, yeah?
Yes, I feel we have to take this as a gift, because even right now, in September, we see, all the different theaters in Quebec just like launching their seasons and whatnot, and being like, show business is on, we're starting, we're running, like it's happening. However, it's just the past few months were a blessing that's never coming back. I don't think it's, anyways, I think it's a blessing that's never coming back, because it was like maybe 6 months or so where we could really take time to breathe, to relax, to sleep, and to just reflect on ourselves, on our craft, and, just put time where we wanted to put this time. Me, I started to, read all the plays, all the novels, all the everything that I had like bought and left on the shelf because I don't have time. Right. So it was, in a way, just a way it was a manner for me to just keep being creative, and to keep on researching and feeding myself as a creator. And like, I had this time, this precious time that I never have, this time that if I had 24 hours more in a day, I would read all of Shakespeare. Like, we had it literally. Yeah. But I think it's different for everybody. It depends what you want to focus on. Some people it's going to be on breathing. Some people it's going to be, I need a yoga class. I need to calm down. I'm always, stressed out. I'm really anxious. It's just like anything that could have been done to help us as like human beings, as people, but also as performer. I think it was a big gift of time.
Mm-hmm.
Time is a loan, you know, from life that we never get back. So that was a big ass loan that we got, and it's just, how did we use that?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess, you know, it seems like you've taken this loan and you're cashing in with this play that you've written to be a part of this new initiative. So I'll just quickly let everybody know, for those of you watching who are unaware, our friends over at the Centaur Theater, as I mentioned at the beginning, have this new project called the Portico Project. And so over the course, I think it's from September the 24th to around the 4th or 6th of October, there are several different plays that are going to be, how many? 4?
The 4th.
The 4th? Okay, the 4th of October. Thank you, Maryline. There are several different plays that are going to be performed on the front steps outside of the Centaur Theater on their portico. That's a great, great initiative. And you have a play, Maryline, that's going to be there, and it's called Fanm Rebel. Excellent. And why don't you look, lovely photo of you.
La la.
And we want to point out that you're there with your partner, Manushka Elinor, who is also an alumnus of the Black Theatre Workshop Artist Mentorship Program from back in 2015-16.
Yes.
And so you are performing in this together. You have directed it together, and this is something that you wrote.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes,
so
yes,
why don't you tell us a little bit about the play, about the story, and how it all came to be?
Yeah, so Fanm Rebel, Creole for rebel women. It's a play about the women of the Haitian Revolution who fought for the freedom of the country. And basically, I wanted to, in regards to everything that has happened in North America with the Black Lives Matter movement, I think it has taken a toll on a lot of us and made us. It was a big blow, I think, on a lot of people in like the Black community, for people of color. And for me, I was questioning myself as to how can we heal a community? How can we just open a discussion? Because it's really heavy. It's really what we're going through right now. I think it's going to be a moment in history that we're going through, and it just, how do we talk about that? How do we express those emotions? And for me, I mean, I'm Haitian, and I've always noticed this weird power dynamic between Haitian men and Haitian women, and how I think it's proper to, you know, West Indian countries to just have this weird balance between the two genders. And Haitian people, we are really proud about, you know, being the first free Black republic. It's something we are so proud about. But I was just wondering why we never speak about the women who made this happen, because they played key roles in this revolution. And it just made me think about just this representation of the body, of the Black bodies through history, be it like in paintings and drawings and sculptures, in storytelling, how women are never on the same point of equality with men. And I wanted to address that, especially right now with all the protests that we've seen, because I find it so unfortunate that, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement was created by 4 women of color, 4 Black women, and that through everything that's being done with the movement, Black women bodies are being forgotten or discarded and pushed aside. And I find this really interesting, how the movement has been created by them, but they are being pushed aside. And that's something that I feel is just happening throughout history all the time. And I wanted to address that and to find a way to just link it to my roots, to some problematics that I see within my community, but also to make it universal as well. And to just ask this question about why can't we protect the bodies of Black women? Why is it? Because we are protecting everybody else. So it would be nice to, you know, be protected, be loved, be be cherished, be valued. So that's where this show, like the idea of the show came from. And, you know, the Centaur, the theme for the Portico is unpacking. And me, I literally want to unpack this part of history, because why don't we know it? Why don't we know about those women? Why do we only know about Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines? Why don't we know about those other women that were there? They literally fought. Like, yeah, I wanted to unpack that. And it made me think of, you know, all the history of Canada, the same way that we need to unpack. It's so, right now, it's necessary that we unpack slavery in Canada, like Indigenous people, Black slavery in Canada. Like, we more than ever, I think it's so clever of Centaur to do that right now, because we need to unpack. And for me, it was really important that, you know, this piece, I'm so happy to just be working with Manushka, Eleanor, who's Haitian as well, and George Michael Fanfan, who's Haitian. So just like us three, that was the original proposal for a team. And now I'm also working with Sandrina Sparagna, who's Italian, and just like a majority of people of color and women, you know, working on this. And just for us to be able to inhabit this space is a big deal. And we're just really happy to just bring those strange bodies of ours in that space, right? And to just tell the story. It's really important.
Is it, was this a play that you had kind of already in the works when the Portico project opportunity came up? Or is this something that when Portico happened, you're like, I'm just going to create something and go with it?
I'm just going to create something and go with it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And I think it's just, it's luck. It's weird. Life works in weird ways, because this summer I was supposed to tour with Repercussion Theater for Scapin. And I was really excited about that, because I'm bilingual. So it was, yes, I want to do that. It's, you know, it's physical. That's what I do. I do cirque, I do clown. Like, I was really excited. And when it got canceled, you know, you ask yourself questions, why? And weirdly enough, I feel that maybe it happened for a reason. It happened for me to tell that story, and that it needed to be done. So it's just like finding opportunities in hardship, I guess. Just, yeah.
And have you, I mean, I know you through the mentorship program at BTW, so I think of you first and foremost as a performer, and a brilliant one at that, if I do say so. But have you written anything before? Or is this a first for you? I'm just wondering about that writing process, because I tried to write something many years ago, and I realized how difficult it is, and I gained a lot of respect for people who can write and be brilliant at it. So where is this play for you in terms of Maryline Chery, the playwright?
This play, it's so important. Like, because me, I do research. I do a lot of research. I read a lot, be it, you know, novel, poetry. I read everything. And I'm really interested in like the West Indian history. So I had a lot of knowledge prior in my head. And I've always wanted to do a piece on Haitian history, but I wanted to do it on women, just because Haitian history is really focused on men. And I'm just like, wait a minute, there's so many women. We need to do this. We need to make it happen. And I mean, I've been writing since I was a kid in elementary school. And for so long as a kid, like, I didn't have a computer. Yeah, I wrote on paper. Like, I was just like, chapter number 6. And then like the other side. So I've always been a writer. And when I can't express something, like, for example, everything that has happened in the past few months, I just write it down. So I think I already had a base of questions in my head already before.
Right.
Portico. Yeah.
Excellent. And I mean, you mentioned that you're bilingual and that you can work in both languages. But for this project, Centaur Theatre, obviously being an Anglophone theater company here in the city, is the show exclusively in English? Did you write it just that way, or do you have some French and Creole in there as well? I imagine.
My God, people. At first, I just trying to do the most. I wanted to do it like trilingual. I was just like, yeah, French,
Yeah.
English, Creole. Then I realized, nah, you need to edit it. It's not going to work. So now it's mainly in English because it's at the Centaur. There's some Creole in it and some snippets on French here and there.
Okay.
Eventually, I want to just translate it in French as well. But this show, when I tell you, I edited so much out of it, and there's so I can't even start to tackle everything, all the research that I can't. I'm not even tackling like half the research that I have. So I just see it as an exploration that can go even further at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even this Monday, me and my team, we were rehearsing outside of the Centaur, and people were just passing by as we were exploring like the work, and they were really intrigued. People just stopped by. They were just like, "Oh my God, Haitian history? But why is it in English?" I'm just like, "Yo, we have like little Haiti in Miami. We have Haitian people in New York, in Boston. Come on, let's not." But it was so interesting, and people were really intrigued, and they took like our information. They're coming back at the end of the month. That's really cool. So I know that people are really intrigued and they want to learn more about it. Mm-hmm. So that's really nice, and it works in English. And I think that it's like the division between French theater and English theater, or like French TV and blah blah blah. Yeah. I think it should exist. And I find it intriguing because there's a lot of information that could be shared on both sides that everybody needs to know, actually. Mm-hmm. So, for now, it's in English. That's the way it is, but
it will hopefully be done in French at some point down the road. That would be great. But you're touching on an interesting topic that I wanted to just bring up here, because you are, as you mentioned, a bilingual performer. Yeah. And I'm wondering, in terms of work and opportunity for you in the Anglophone theater community versus in the Francophone theater community, mm-hmm. particularly as a person of color working mm-hmm. in this industry, what are the, this is a tricky one, what do you think are the main differences, or are you finding that you have more opportunity and on one side compared to the other? What's that relationship like for you?
It's really, it's interesting. It's not the same for sure. Like, I feel there are more theaters in the province, in the province of Quebec. Yeah. There's more French theaters for sure. But it's really tricky. It's really tricky. Like the French theater industry, like they don't have, the same process of like us with the QDF, for example, to just like give an opportunity for everyone to show like, their improvement and growth every year. They don't have that. So it's more a question of connections, a question of being at the right place at the right time, and for people to know you. For me, I've done some, workshop things, and I'm just making my way through this sinuous path, right? So it's okay. I'm not complaining in terms of theater. I'm not complaining. However, there's also this notion, I feel that right now they're opening up a little bit more to diversity. And I guess it's just because of the mess that Slav was. Let's be real. It's because of that. So, I
remember that.
So, and that's why, and now they understand and they see that there's a community, that there's a lot of people, that needs representation on stage. So I feel that right now they're thinking about opening up their doors a little bit more. I do think that Anglo theater in Quebec is way more advanced, just because, I mean, we have Imago, we have Theatery, we have the Black Theater Workshop, we have Seagull, we have so many different like companies, collectives that are working to represent diversity and to be inclusive. Mm-hmm. So I think that on that side, we are one step ahead. For sure. Even me, I went to study at Concordia because that was the only place where I saw bodies that looked like mine on stage. So there's that, you know, we need to take that in account. So right now they're trying, but they're running. It's mm-hmm. a marathon.
Yeah, it's a marathon. That's a really good way to put it. And I hope, I mean, if they're running, I hope they catch up. Because I think there's lots of great potential. I'm seeing, you know, inroads being made and hopefully some improvement along the way. But I think, you know, there's still a fair bit of course to travel on that path. Mm-hmm. But hopefully it will get there. I think we have a question coming from our viewership. I'm putting a note here. And what does this say? Any workshops coming up for the young children? I'm not sure if that is a question for Maryline or for us over at BTW. Do you have any workshops coming up for young children, Maryline?
I don't. I mean, I used to teach like drama for children in elementary schools, but unfortunately, because of COVID-19, theater and drama in elementary schools are kind of like on the ice.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not quite sure how educational institutions and art programs are going to survive after this. Hopefully things are going to be okay. But if I can jump in just to answer on behalf of BTW, we don't have any programs right now for young children. We have our mentorship program, which is for emerging artists who are pursuing professional careers. But if it's helpful, I can direct you perhaps to Geordie Theatre. Geordie Theatre is one of the best theatre companies in this city in any language. And they're currently celebrating their 40th anniversary season. And they, I think, are in their 10th anniversary year of their Geordie Theatre School. So they do offer arts training, theatre training for young people. And I think because of the current realities of COVID, that they are offering some online courses for young people. So I'm not 100% sure, but they're a theater company that I highly recommend. So if you're watching, please check out Geordie Theatre and inquire about their Geordie Theatre School. They may be able to help you out.
And I don't know, I feel, isn't like Seagull also giving like classes for children?
Yes, they may have. I'm not quite sure where their program is at right now. I just remember recently hearing about Geordie's. But yeah, check out the Seagull Center as well. They have programs for young people. There may even be some other companies. I don't know. Imago Theater has a wonderful Artista program for emerging young women. I'm not quite sure of the age groups, but that might be something to look into as well. And then when in doubt, of course, as Maryline mentioned earlier, the Quebec Drama Federation, they're an art service organization that represents English theater here in Quebec. And so when in doubt, you can get in touch with QDF and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. So Maryline, we're just coming up on the end of our time here a little bit. But it's been so lovely talking to you. But before we go, just wanted to drop one little thing in there. And this might just sort of came to me, and I hope this doesn't throw you off guard, but I'm wondering, like, over the course of the past 6 months, this whole quarantine that we've been going through, the impact that it's had on individuals, on communities, on organizations, and on industries, ours in particular. As we were talking and alluded to earlier, that there are still lights at the end of the tunnel, or diamonds in the rough, or things that we can take, positive experiences or thoughts that we can get out of this unfortunate circumstance. And so I was just wondering, to put you on the spot, is there something, or is there one thing that has happened, or one lesson that you have learned, or something that you didn't think was going to come to you that came to you throughout this process, that surprised you, or that is interesting, or that you want to continue to pursue? Just anything like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, a lot of people have reached out to me to do a lot of different projects. And weirdly enough, I had to say no to some things. I had to say no just because of time and trying to take care of myself.
Good.
And I guess one thing that just came down on me is that, Maryline, you are a clown. Like, I'm a clown, guys. I'm a clown performer. I'm a clown. So I'm a clown, and I'm just going to continue to explore that and mix it with drag.
Okay.
So it's gonna I'm going to create
drag, put it all together.
Yes, I'm just exploring and creating interesting characters right now. Okay. And I don't know how I'm going to use that, but yeah, I'm going to use that because it also makes me think of, you know, how the industries, we all shut down so fast. Yeah. And we just try to think about what can we do? How can we even stage anything right now? And I'm just realizing how, theater started with clowns, with, it was suitcase theater. We had nothing. We were in the streets attracting people. It's like memories of a geisha. You need to attract the look of someone just like in a second. It's like it's all we need is this. It's our presence. It's our bodies. That's it. Everything else is just like add-ons.
Wow.
So, yes.
Well, I agree with Christine Rodriguez, who just said that it's super interesting. I hope you continue to pursue that. I want to see what you're going to come up with. So I'm going to be checking back in with you to see what's going on in that department, because you've already sparked my interest. Maryline, I just want to thank you so much for being with me this afternoon, to come out and talk about the industry and where you're at, and obviously your show. So let's just let everybody know. So this is Fanm Rebel, written by Maryline Chery and directed and performed by Maryline Chery along with Manushka Elinor. And it's going to be playing at the Centaur Theater's Portico projects. Yep. And there are 4 performances, I believe. And they are on September the 24th at 6:30 p.m., September the 26th at 4:30 p.m., October the 2nd at 6:30 p.m., and October the 4th at 4:30 p.m.
Yes.
So please check it out. Live theater needs our support right now more than ever. Yep. I will be there, and I'm encouraging all to come and be there. And again, Maryline, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you, all of you, for watching. We absolutely love this series, and we love that you are embracing it so much. So please look out for the next one, which will be coming up in 2 weeks on the 24th of September. In the meantime, as I was saying, go out there and support the live performance as much as you can. There's the Portico project. There's En Pointe that's being done by Table d'Hôte Theater. I think they're still going. And any of our other colleagues, either on the Anglophone side or on the Francophone side, whatever you can to support live performance would be so helpful. And it's so crucial right now. So we're counting on you for your love and support. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Again, thank you, Maryline, and I'll see all of you in 2 weeks for our next session. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.